And now I am so proud to announce the recipient of this year's President's Medal. The President's Medal is the university's most prestigious non-academic honor and is a symbol of unwavering commitment and generosity to our students and to CSU. And this year's recipient is Marjorie Shorrock. I warned Marjorie ahead of time that I would need to lean heavily on my notes because there is a lot of detail about just how committed Marjorie is to CSU. Marjorie is an active member of CSU community and has a distinguished career spanning in this community, nonprofit, and corporate worlds. In her career, Marjorie was the president and CEO of Resource Careers. This at the time had to have been particularly innovative. It was a Cleveland headquartered business that supports dual career spouses of relocating corporate employees. She joined that business in 1974. So if you think about what was happening in 1974, I would say that Marjorie was a woman ahead of her time, and she expanded the reach of that organization to provide assistance throughout the United States and globally. She built a global company. This woman who's before us today. When I saw her talking to our students about this, it was a pretty remarkable experience, and they were pretty awed by what she has done in her own life. She is also an advocate for many social issues, including affordable health care and women's rights. Yeah, we're going to give you another round of applause. Marjorie's affiliation with CSU runs deep. Her husband, the late Dr. Bill Shorrock, joined CSU's history department in 1969, and he served both as a faculty member and as an administrator until his retirement in 2005. Sadly, we lost Bill in 2007, 2 years later. Marjorie also graduated from our College of Business with an MBA in 1988 as she was building that, oh, did I say, global company. Her ongoing support of CSU has been steady and deep. In 2014, Marjorie established the Marjorie Shorrock Endowed Graduate Fellowship in History to support graduate students studying in that department. 4 years later, in 2018, she established the Marjorie Shorrock Study Abroad Endowment Fund to support students who enroll and participate in short-term faculty-led study abroad programs and longer-term academic residencies. 2 years later, in 2020, Marjorie established the Marjorie Shorrock Student Success Initiatives Fund. This is what I was thinking about when I heard Cheney's comments. It allows us to provide students with financial support in their greatest areas of need, including food insecurity, scholarships, emergency grants, housing support, books, tutoring, coaching, and technology devices. It provides for students so they can focus on their studies and not worry about their financial future or the challenges that seem to be preventing them from completing their degrees. And then just last year, Marjorie provided support for renovations to Woodling Gym, which is a workhorse facility on our campus that Marjorie has talked about having very fond memories of. I love these conversations, Marjorie. She talked about attending men's basketball games in that gym with Bill and their kids, David and Kim, and talked about the ways in which David and Kim were romping around, I imagine, the stands during those games. In recent years, I've enjoyed watching games with Marjorie now in Wolstein. She and her family, even back in that time, were such supporters of CSU basketball that they would often travel with the team to away games. I could go on about Marjorie, and I would particularly emphasize the way in which she interacts directly with our students, which is respectful and makes students feel like they are capable of anything. It's pretty powerful. But what I'd really like to do is give you a moment to hear from some of the people who also wanted to talk about Marjorie's legacy. Let's take a look.
My husband Tom and I, we met Marjorie and Bill when we moved in 1999, literally right next door to them in Shaker Heights. And actually, the first person that I got to know was Bill. I think probably because of our combined commonality in academia. After Bill passed away, sadly, we started talking to each other more and realizing that we had a lot of interesting commonalities or interests in things like how to promote women in careers. She is not only a highly accomplished businesswoman who grew a very successful company, but she is also one of the most engaged people in her community that I know of. Her legacy will be this continued treasure of students who will go forward and who will have the opportunity to have an outstanding education here at Cleveland State because of her gifts.
I had the privilege of actually knowing Dr. Shorrock when I was a student here, but also I had the privilege of working with Bill when he was the vice provost. And it's really through her efforts and through Bill that I got to know them and got to know their incredible commitment to Cleveland State University and its students. Both she and Bill, they understand this place better or as well as anybody I've ever met.
What I love about how she supports the students is that she's supporting the graduate students, which are often overlooked. She's supporting students who have perhaps some economic hardship. Many of the students that come to Cleveland State are oftentimes first-generation college-bound students from their communities, from their families. She also is supportive of international activities. She's just an amazing, outgoing, engaged person and has such a love and zest for life. It's inspiring every single day.
It's her generosity and it's her commitment that makes it possible for us to serve those students. What she does in her commitment and her generosity has the direct effect of changing lives. I can't imagine how proud he must be today, somewhere to see Marjorie and her children and her grandchildren, how proud he would be of this moment and how grateful he would be for all that she has done. And I think a lot of Bill today and think about the pride that he would have at this moment. Marjorie, congratulations for this incredible honor. It's well-deserved.
Marjorie, I love you. We all love you. You are so deserving of this award. Congratulations.
Oh, I have to put it on, of course. I will put it, where is she's got it. Oh,
I got it.
Oh, good.
I got it.
Wow. Thank you. I want to say with every bit of love, thank you all for being here. This is, as you can tell, this has been, Bill and I want to talk a little bit about him because it was his career and his new PhD in history that brought us to Cleveland State University 50 years ago. Isn't that amazing? When he took his first job at Cleveland State, just a little bit of history here, his first office, so to speak, was in the parking lot in a Quonset hut. That was where he started his career at Cleveland State, from a Quonset hut in the parking lot of this, without Rhodes Tower. There was not much, there was Fenn, but not much else. So that's some of the history. We then lived here, and 50 years ago bought a house in Shaker, and I lost Bill too many years ago. It's very sad, obviously. Many of you knew him, and he was special. But we settled into Shaker. I'm still in that house, 50 years. 50 years. So can you imagine? I am now moving to Judson and taking 4 stories full of things to a 1-bedroom apartment. So anybody want any furniture? So that's going to be my challenge, but I look forward to it. So I just want to say, Bill and I loved Cleveland State. You mentioned the basketball. We went to every single home game and many away games, and then not to get too carried away with the basketball. But Cleveland State University, Vikings basketball, and I say go to games. They, in I always forget what year, Tim? They went to the Sweet 16. This is huge. If any of you know college basketball, our Vikings, all the guys that I got to know, went to play in the Meadowlands at the level of Sweet 16. It was pretty exciting time to be. And of course, a group of us, true fans, went to the Meadowlands. They lost. Bad call, however. And the fact that maybe because we played Navy, and if anybody knows basketball, David Robinson was part of Navy then, so we lost, but it was close. So 50 years in Shaker, 50 years of being affiliated, and Bill also with Cleveland State University is just totally valuable. It's we are so lucky to have this university in our city, and I treasure every minute that I've spent here. And I love all of you and some of the students that I am now providing some assistance to through the Student Support Initiatives Program. I've gotten to know them all, and I love them. They are going to be, we were at a gathering, I'm going off, I'm sorry. David thinks I talk too much. My son and daughter right there. David and Lauren, Bill's brother right there. Anyway, I will quit, but I just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting this wonderful university 50 years later. It's beautiful. Thank you.